Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you Mr. Boris Dommenget, and he is presenting a guitar, and I would like to get a little information from him as far as its history, a little bit of that. Boris,
Yes.
give me a little bit of history on your time with the Hopf company.
Right. Well, you see, I got trained as a guitar maker from 1977 to 1980 at a company called Hopf. And back then, they used to be the biggest guitar company in Germany. They had they had about 80 employees, right? So they were pretty big. They had a factory, plus they had a smaller building where all the trainees like us were and where they made the high-class guitars. Unfortunately, yeah, after I left, 1 year later, they went bankrupt. Anyway, the story about this guitar is there used to be the Star Club in Hamburg, very world-famous club, where the Beatles became big, right? Everybody played at the Beatles, Cliff Richards and Chuck Berry and the Doors, and basically Jimi Hendrix, everybody up to 1970. 1970 they closed down, unfortunately. Anyway, but they had a guitar, they always had a guitar in the building above the entrance, which was basically this model, but the old version. It was called Hopf's Saturn 63, and that was their sort of label, right? They had that guitar not only in the club above the entrance, but also on all the posters and leaflets. It was like their label, you know, that guitar.
That was the model guitar.
At one stage, later on, that club burned down and it doesn't exist anymore. But where it was now, there is a big memorial stone with that guitar engraved on the top, and then all the famous names.
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice. It's in a very famous area of Hamburg at the Reeperbahn. And anyway, so last year I got a call from some Mr. Hopf. And it turned out that he was the son of the brother of my master. And he's now pretty old as well. He's far over 70, retired. But he's got 3 sons. And the 3 sons had the idea to re-establish the Hopf guitars. And they actually musicians themselves, okay, not professional, but and the main Hopf brother was Daniel Hopf. He's the one I'm dealing with.
Okay,
and,
okay.
He plays guitar as well.
Marvelous.
On the side, so he's quite nearby where I live. I live near Hamburg. He's down in Hanover, famous Hanover, where the Scorpions come from.
Speaking of, you've been Scorpions.
I make all the Scorpions guitars as well, by the way.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, and funny enough, my old master is now 87 years old, but
Wow.
he's still there, he's still fit in the head, right?
Wow.
And he recommended me because they asked, okay, who are we going to ask for to make those guitars? So he recommended me because I was pretty good when I was a trainee. I made most of their prototypes back then as a trainee in the workshop. And it looked like, yeah, well, they liked me the way I was working. So last year we made a deal. I made 2 guitars, 2 prototypes. One was basically a copy of the old one. The old one was pretty different. It looked, the shape was the same, right? But the construction was completely different. It was made of mainly plywood. It was completely hollow. It had a bolt-on neck and different hardware. Everything was
different, entirely different.
Back then, when it came out, 1963, it was supposed to be the best German guitar at that time. But today, I told the brothers, listen, we got to make it different, right? We got to update it to today's standards. And that's basically this guitar. This is the second one of its type. This is called the Saturn 23. 23 because, you know, the 60th anniversary.
Yeah, okay.
60 years ago was the first one, now it's the second one.
The second
update. And so this is the second one. The first one was different. This one has gold parts. It's got the gold bindings. Very nice, you know, the sparkle gold bindings, as you can see.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And I recommended this to do it for the American market, a bit of sort of Las Vegas style. And yeah, the shape, as I said, is the same as the old one, but the whole construction, the pickups, everything is very different. It's up to standard, to today's standards. What makes this guitar unique is especially the pickups, because they're actually patented. I've got a patent on those pickups. What they do is they're the only pickups on the market who actually can do real PAF sounds and real Strat Fender type single coil sounds. So they're not, when you switch them to single coil, it's not like a splitted humbucker. It's got nothing to do with split. No. When you switch to single coil, it's a real Fender single coil. When you switch to humbucking, it's a real humbucker. It's a pretty complicated construction. If you want to, you can find out online how the patent works. Anyway, so it's all authentic sounds, humbucker sounds, single coil sounds, all authentic. Plus, it features a special tone control with a normal tone control. They're both master controls, right? When you pull this one, that switches the bridge pickup to single coil. This is a master, I call it twang control, because it does a sort of twang sound, you know. It's already pretty twangy when you switch it to single coil, but if you want to get into...
Oh, I see.
If you want to get into, let's say, Telecaster chicken picking country style.
There you go.
you need a thinner sound with more bite, and this is what the twang control does.
There you go.
It's sort of like a filter for a special sort of mids, which takes out the mid resonance frequency, and then all of a sudden you're in a complete different world.
Different sound.
You can play funky and all that, and the whole idea is you have one amp which is set to your most beloved lead sounds. I mean, nice, real heavy lead sounds. And all the other sounds you can get with the guitar.
Yeah.
For instance, if you turn the volume buttons, you don't lose any sound. First of all, from distortion, you get into a sort of crunch sound. Then the volume gets a bit lower, but you don't lose any sound. It remains all the trebles, it remains all the bass. Yeah. Usually when you turn down the volume button, the sound gets a bit muddy. It changes.
And it doesn't with this
guitar, it doesn't change.
It does not.
So actually, I have a video out. Maybe Paula, can you show you that video which I done at? We were at a big meeting.
Yes, I'll be sharing that link with you folks.
Yeah, we had a big meeting with Uli Jon Roth and his Sky Academy. A very unique happening, 3 days long.
Fabulous.
Where all the, you see, I make all the Sky guitars for Uli Jon Roth, right? And he's actually selling them. And so lots of customers came down with the Sky guitar. So we had about 15 Sky guitars.
I saw that picture. The picture was fabulous.
Oh, that actually already 2 or 3 were gone at that day.
Really? Wow.
And we actually had 15.
Yeah, I counted 11.
Yeah.
But there was a total of 15.
I've never seen so many of my babies in one space.
No.
Yeah, and I offered them to do a little if there was any neck
Tweaking or
adjustment,
work on it, yeah. Or
And
questions.
there were some where I changed the pot or something, you know, and
Oh wow!
it
What
was
an
a
honor!
great happening.
What an
and
honor!
actually, I introduced that guitar, and Paula's got the video of that introduction where I actually show all the different sounds, right? That might be
Yes.
very interesting for all of
Yes.
you.
I'll tag that link when I post this.
Okay, it's not the best quality because it's been, you know, with the mobile camera filmed, but
That's okay.
but I think you get the impression of what the guitar can do. So yeah.
So now, as far as future works with this guitar, where's it going after hear today?
Oh, it stays here in San Francisco
It stays in
with a
the
mate
States.
of mine. Yeah. And well, actually, we're working on. We're trying. Well, of course, you see, I try to help the Hopf brothers because they're very dedicated,
Yeah.
and I mean, me being 40 years nearly in the business now, so I try to help them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I've got quite a few customers in the States as well. And I think it's an interesting guitar, you know. So I try to promote it a bit, and we see what's going to happen, you know. I mean, we're never going to make big numbers of this. Yeah, I always make 5 pieces at a time, and so maybe I make 10 of those a year, right? And because I have other guitars to do as well. But it would be nice because it's a unique guitar, and I think it deserves a place in the guitar world, right? So maybe it's going to appear in magazines, and we might do the NAMM show maybe next year, right? So,
yeah.
You're welcome to meet up with us.
Absolutely.
We might do some vintage shows. I don't know yet. You see, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you got to keep me informed, Boris.
We just started.
Yeah.
We just started.
Well, listen, folks, you know, you remember that name because you're going to hopefully be hearing more about it and get some quality work. You've got the quality guitar master right here. You can't ask him for any more better than this right here. The man knows his stuff, obviously. Obviously, he's well trusted. And, you know, you can't get any better than this, folks. Boris, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of In the Spotlight, welcome. And enjoy the rest of your time in the States, Boris. It's been a pleasure seeing you again.
Very much. Unfortunately, tomorrow we got to leave, but we'll be back. That's for sure.
Awesome. All right. It's In the Spotlight, folks.
Yeah.
In and out.
See you later.